Hello, my name is Russ Cafano, and I'm the CEO of the Missouri Realtors. Thank you for joining us today for the March 2014 edition of Missouri HomeMatters. Today, we will review the month of March as well as the first quarter of the year for 2014. Overall, we did experience a jump in business in March, as expected for the beginning of the spring selling season. More homes sold and the average and median selling prices continued to grow over previous years. So let's get started and look at the results. We'll first review March of 2014 against March of 2013 and 12. Total sales volume in March was just over $735 million, a 10% decrease from March of 2013 and an 8% increase from 2012. Over 4,800 homes sold in March, representing an 11% decline from March of 2013 and a 1% decrease from 2012. Homes did sell at a quicker pace this past March, staying on the market for an average of 136 days, 2 days less compared to last year and 9 days less than March of 2012. The average selling price continues to grow and was approximately $149,000, 4% above March of 2013 and 9% increase over 2012. Like the average selling price, the median selling price also appreciated to $125,000, 6% more than 2013 and a 14% increase over 2 years ago in 2012. Although previous year comparisons are most accurate in looking at market trends, we also look at month-to-month statistics. In March, home sales increased 30% over February. The number of days on the market also increased 3% from 133 days in February to 136 days in March, and the selling price, the average selling price, increased 5% in March to $149,000. Finally, the median selling price saw an increase of 6% in March compared to February, coming in at $125,000. Overall, sales volume for March was $735 million, 37% more than the $538 million in sales for February. We'll now review the first quarter results for 2014. Overall, $1.8 billion in home sales were generated in the first quarter. This sales volume was just slightly less, 4%, than the same period in 2013 and 13% higher than 2012. Just over 12,000 homes sold in the first quarter. Our members were very busy, a 9% decrease from the first quarter of 2013 and 3% more than the first quarter of 2012. Homes sold at a much quicker rate of 3 days shorter than the first quarter of 2013 and 11 days shorter than the first quarter of 2012. The average home selling price for the first quarter rose nearly 7% over 2013 and a whopping 10% over 2012, coming in at over $146,000. And the median selling price, the price at which half the homes sold or more and half the homes sold or less, for the first quarter increased by 7% over the first quarter of 2013 and 14% over 2012, coming in at $120,000. We'll now review interest rates, which slightly increased in March, however remain historically low. According to Freddie Mac, the national average commitment rate for a 30-year conventional fixed-rate mortgage increased to 4.34% in March from 4.30% in February. In comparison, the interest rate in March of 2013 was a really low 3.57%. Now let's take a look at some national trends from the National Association of Realtors Economist blog. We'll first discuss the trend regarding down payment challenges and typical renters. Tight credit characterizes the current housing environment. Buyers with large down payments are reported to have the bidding edge for houses. However, 60% of first-time home buyers made a down payment of 6% or less as of February 2014, according to the Realtors Confidence Index survey. How much down payment can a typical renter put down? The chart shows the median savings of renters in 2013, $12,568, versus the down payment for a median price home of $197,400 under down payment scenarios of 3.5%, 5%, 10%, and 20%, plus an assumed 3% for closing costs. The typical renter's savings are substantially less than a hefty down payment plus those closing costs. For renters with less than perfect credit, the path toward home ownership grows steeper as the needed down payment increases in times of tight credit. We'll now review information on the latest consumer price inflation, an article by NAR's chief economist Lawrence Yun. In this report, we learned that inflation ticked higher in March, with the consumer price index increasing by 1.5% from 1 year ago. The current inflation is not troublesome yet. The Fed keeps a close watch on the broadest measure of inflation, but a narrow one that excludes food and energy prices. This so-called core inflation rose 1.6% from 1 year ago. But the monthly gains were picking up fast, with the March annualized rate clocking at 2.5%, the highest rate of increase over the last year. You can read the full report by Lawrence Yun, as well as other national economic trends, by visiting the URL shown on the screen. This concludes this edition of Missouri Home Matters. Please visit The Landing, the Missouri Realtors professional networking and business information site, to review a full written report of the data we reviewed today, as well as additional resources and information. As always, remember that real estate is local, and local realtors are the key to accurate market information. I'm your host, Russ Cafano. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next Missouri Home Matters.